Alright, hello everyone, my name is Samantha Viagran. I am going to be this first negative, and I'd like to refute my opponent's claim that the use of animals for scientific research should be prohibited. So my opponent begins off saying that it's irrelevant. It's actually not irrelevant, it is relevant to us, and I'd like to say it's actually required by law today, it's already in place, that any tests on human in clinical trials first be tested on animals. The World Medical Association Declaration of Helsinki says that medical research involving human subjects must conform to generally accepted scientific principles, be based on thorough knowledge of the scientific literature, other relevant sources of information, and adequate laboratory and, as appropriate, animal experimentation. The welfare of animals used for research must be respected. This is because the effects on products being tested on animals is relevant to us as humans and can determine whether or not a potential cosmetic or medicinal product should be made available to humans. And furthermore, an example of this is the case with thalidomide. This is a drug formerly used as a sedative, but withdrawn in the early 1960s after it was found to cause congenital malformation or absence of limbs in children whose mothers took the drug during early pregnancy. According to an article on listland.com, many babies died and approximately 15,000 were born with limb defects. Thalidomide was tested in animals, and this is used as an argument by many to say that animal testing does not actually work. But what is less known, however, is that not all the necessary tests were performed. The Food and Drug Administration in the U.S. did not approve of the sale of thalidomide due to incomplete tests. After the problems within this drug were discovered, the full range of tests were completed, and it was shown to cause birth defects across a wide range of animal species. Therefore, the results in that could have been relevant to the humans and how it would have worked on them, and could have prevented the whole tragedy to begin with. And because of this tragedy, it's now a requirement to carry out tests on pregnant animals. And if animal testing is banned, there's every possibility that a tragedy similar to this one could occur in the future. The affirmative also says that animal testing is unnecessary, but if it wasn't for animal testing, many groundbreaking discoveries and solutions to diseases and operations would not have been discovered. It was needed to establish the vaccine for polio, to learn how to make transplants work, and to learn how to install pacemakers. And this is according to another article on thisland.com. Nearly every Nobel laureate in physiology or medicine since 1901 has relied on animal data for the research, and it's apparent that it is necessary to do this because the effects that certain drugs have on animals is relevant to the way it'll work on us as humans. At animalresearch.info, the discovery of insulin was by Frederick Banting and John MacLeod in 1923, and that called for research that consisted of testing on cows, dogs, fish, pigs, and rabbits. Now, if we withdraw using animals for testing, and more specifically scientific research, we won't actually be able to develop more and further our knowledge of the way things work in terms of medicine and science, because we won't have anything to practice on. We can't practice on humans, that's unethical. And there's nothing actually like an animal or living, breathing, bleeding, nothing in a simulated, anything simulated works the same. And a big part of my opponent's argument is that animal testing is cruel. Cruelty to animals, according to Joanne Hager from the Tri-Candy Animal Rescue in Gaston Gazette, is the human infliction upon any non-human animal for purposes other than self-defense or survival. As I said previously, we do need animal testing because the way things work on animals is relevant to us as humans and can determine whether or not we should implement the use of a drug or a medicine. And if we cut it off completely, just because we think it's cruel, we're actually gonna hurt ourselves more than we're gonna hurt animals, and that wouldn't make sense. Animal research is not cruel, it's essential to our society. We should not eat animals either. We should all be completely vegans if we're gonna have this kind of logic. Because in comparison, we eat and consume way more animals than we do testing on, and the treatment of them for that is very cruel. According to PETA, each year more than 100 million animals, including mice, rats, frogs, dogs, cats, rabbits, hamsters, guinea pigs, monkeys, fish, and birds, are killed in U.S. laboratories for biology lessons, medical training, curiosity-driven experimentation, and chemical, drug, food, and cosmetic testing. In comparison, more than 150 billion animals are slaughtered every year by the egg, meat, and dairy industries, according to the Animals Deserve Absolute Protection Today and Tomorrow organization. And because, meat is essential to our diet, regardless of how many supplements and we put into ourselves, it's not valid to say that we shouldn't test on animals because it's cruel, because we shouldn't eat them either, but it's a circle of life. Therefore, the use of animals for scientific research is not cruel, it's relevant, and it is necessary. Thank you.